Good morning, world.
Good morning. Well, as you guys can see by my hat and by Brian's backward hat attire, we must be doing a Tom MacDonald review. So coming up next, we're going to do a review of his latest song entitled Dear Slim. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian.
Alright guys, welcome back. Like we said before, we're going to do our review of the song Dear Slim by Tom MacDonald. But before we do that, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and share our videos with everyone you know. And as Brian puts up here on the screen, you can get this Cedric and Brian hat. You can get that one, or you can get this one with the, what's the code again?
C&B10 for 10% off.
Yes, C&B10, 10% off. But anyway, I know you guys are excited, especially you Tom MacDonald fans out there. We're going to review Dear Slim. And so, Brian, you want to get into it?
Yep, let's do it. Here we go. And just so you know, we have seen this video before, so we're not going to do the fake reaction like, oh. So you'll get it.
Yes.
All right, so first off, because I was
stopping
confused.
already?
I know. Well, I was confused.
Okay.
So it says, Dear Slim, produced by Eminem. And I'm thinking, well, man, they must have really made up Eminem's producing it. No. The beat that you're going to hear in this song, Tom MacDonald spent $100,000 on it, on what's called an NFT,
Yes.
Which
Yep.
we will get to later because we want to get right into the song. But just so you guys aren't confused, this video was not produced by Eminem. It was done by Nova, like all of his videos.
Yes.
All right, so here we go.
She did a good job.
Dear Slim, I thought you might have heard of me maybe, cause lately everywhere I turn someone's comparing us crazy. I never would have thought when I was bumping Biggie and Pac that I would buy bleach in a box and become the product of shade.
So first thing, he bleached his hair.
Yes. If we understand, he used to do that back in the 90s when he was a Eminem fan.
Yeah.
Never thought when I was bumping Biggie and Pac. That's what I listened to growing up. And if I remember Tom correctly saying, he said he used to listen to Pac. But we'll get into this later about why he did that. You and I may have a difference of opinion on it.
I don't know if I have an opinion because I can tell you I don't
You
know
don't
if
listen to Biggie and Pac.
I don't know if I probably heard it but didn't know it was
Well, not
Biggie
that.
or Pac.
We're just of opinion on something else we've discussed in the past, but I'll bring that up later.
Okay, all right.
But I'm here now. Hi, my name is Tom MacDonald. People call me controversial. I'm the one that counterculture follows. Every song I drop's a problem. I offend an awful lot with topics commenting on race and politics. I'm pretty awesome.
So you're going to have to go back, and I admit I wasn't an Eminem fan. I mean, there was a pop songs he did with Rihanna, stuff
Right.
like that. So I went back after I saw this, and I wanted to look into the beat that he bought. And then I looked into the original video, which was just called Stan, I think. And it was, you go back and look at that. If you haven't seen it, it's basically about an obsessed fan that was a fan of Eminem. Eminem wrote about a fan.
An uber fan, a super fan.
So the visuals in this, so he's sitting on top of this car. That was basically the car that was used in the original Stan video. And there's water on it because at the end of that video, the guy, leaps to his death in the car with his pregnant girlfriend
In the car. He drives off a bridge because he's upset with Eminem because Eminem doesn't return his phone calls, doesn't return his letters, so he decides to end it, and he plunges into the murky depths of the water, and you see the water pouring down the windshield of this Tom MacDonald song, and like Brian just said, that's the same car they used in the Stan video.
Yeah, and the name of this song at the beginning of the Stan video, Stan, as Eminem as Stan, writes, Dear Slim. So it's basically, it's kind of an ode to that song. So if you didn't know that song originally, which I didn't, this song makes more sense if you go back and watch that original Eminem song.
Right.
Dear Slim, I know we're very different politically. Seems like some of your biggest fans are the victims I'm triggering. They're convinced I don't like you, which ain't consistent with history. I was picked on as a kid and they don't know what Slim did for me.
And I'll get to this. The set that he's using there is also the set from the Stan video.
Yes.
He's sitting, writing a letter with an old TV there. But then his lyrics here, seems like some of your biggest fans are the victims I'm triggering because of their politics.
Right.
So we know Eminem seems to be, well, doesn't seem to be, he's on the left. Tom MacDonald, who kind of plays it down the middle, but obviously it's people on the right that are really connected with Tom MacDonald. So he brings that up right here.
I love this because what he's doing here is like, okay, you believe this, I believe that, but we can still get along.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep. And he's even saying right there, you know, you don't know what you did for me.
Right.
But I'm here now, and I fight the system just like you. Was addicted to pills and liquor and quit them just like you. People claim that you hate me, but Marshall, that can't be right, dude. You'd have to hate yourself as well, because Marshall, I'm you.
So, again, this is where me and Cedric said I might get some hate for this. But part of me thinks that Tom's kind of, I don't know if he's clowning. Like, Cedric said this is an ode to Eminem. But then part of me seems like he's playing this super fan on here and going back to Stan again, but then saying, and Marshall, using his real name,
Marshall
Mathers,
Bruce Mathers the third.
the Tud.
Yes.
And saying, hey, Marshall, I'm you. And it's funny because if you go and look at like the Twitter mob from Eminem that watch Tom MacDonald, how much they hate Tom MacDonald. Mm-hmm. And then Tom MacDonald is, coming back and saying, basically saying Marshall, but saying to Eminem's fans, well, I'm the same as Eminem, just to piss him off more. That's what I get from it.
Me and Brian differ on this big time. This line, he says, I was addicted to pills and liquor. If you guys go back and see our review of the song Church, he talks more about that. But this is something that Brian and I disagreed on a few videos ago. Back when Tom wasn't a big hip-hop fan. So back in the 90s, he said he went to the store and his dad gave him $5 to go to a thrift store and buy a CD.
Okay.
He saw a double CD by Tupac. And he said that's when the businessman in him kind of snuck in. He's like, okay, I can get one CD for $5, or I can buy this double CD for $5. He said, I'll buy the double CD. And it was Tupac, All Eyes on Me. And so he started listening to Pac. He listened to it over and over again. This is where you and I had a difference of opinion on certain things. We talked about in the past about being proud of your heritage, like that. He said as much as he liked Pac, as much as he liked Biggie, it was hard for him as a suburban white kid to imagine he could do what a black gangster rapper could do. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he saw Eminem, he said, oh, wait a minute. Blonde, blue eyes, white guy, I can do that. So I think that's where the pride came in. He's like, okay, this is achievable now. Not to say that I'm awesome now because I'm a white rapper. Although me personally, I will put Eminem on the Mount Rushmore of rappers. I think he's up there.
Yeah, and Tom says that. He says, basically.
Yeah.
And anyways, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Marshall, remember back when you became Eminem. You changed the world with a pen. Well, now I'm just like you.
So there he is comparing himself to Eminem, saying, I'm just like you. I'm doing what you did. I mean, obviously Eminem did this over 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Because Stan came out in 2000, I think, written in 99. Mm-hmm. So again, what other white rappers have there been big?
Beastie Boys,
They were before Eminem.
They were before Eminem, but as far as white rappers, there's Eminem, there's the Beastie Boys. Do you call a Vanilla Ice a rapper? Or just, like Haley, he's an anomaly that's kind of phased out quickly. But that's what Tom MacDonald is saying. He said he saw Eminem. He goes, I can do this. I can be a player in the rap game.
I don't give a what, saying what I want with my fingers up. Everybody triggered and they think I suck, but I don't give a what, nah, 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 nah. I don't give a what, nah, 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 nah.
Oh, well, stopping going on here.
So this, I'm only stopping at the beginning here. Okay. When I heard this and I didn't see the lyrics, and I know you guys are going to tell me sometimes the lyrics are translated wrong. I thought he said the first time, if you listen carefully, it sounds like, but I don't give a white, nah, 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 but it's what? But it almost like, I don't give a white, like, but it, and if you look at his lips, sense. I can't tell either, though. Okay. I know, I don't give a what, because he says up there at first, I don't give a what saying what I want. Tom likes to flip people off. He does that in like every single video. That's like his signature. Thing, so anyway.
Dear Slim, I thought that maybe because you paved the way for me, you might relate to weight that Caucasian rappers are carrying. They're constantly comparing us to you. It's embarrassing. Never gaining their approval. It's just hate we're inheriting.
So here's where he's talking about what you were talking about, being a white rapper. Of course, they're comparing them because there's not a lot of white rappers. Those are the unicorns.
Oh, yeah. And I was going to make this, and this will be the last.
It's like they compare you to Larry Elder. There's not a lot of.
Exactly. Well, like that kid for the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic. Who do they compare him to?
Any other white.
Larry Bird.
Yeah.
And I'll just say real quick, I think the reason I told Brian I thought this was an ode to Eminem was because this past weekend, very sad moment for me because I'm a Laker fan, we had the Hall of Fame induction and Kobe Bryant was inducted. Mm-hmm. Anybody who follows the Lakers, follows Kobe, knows that he patterned his speech, his game, everything after Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, every 6'6", incredible athlete who had a 40-plus inch vertical leap was compared to Michael Jordan. And there are times, if you guys don't know this, Kobe will go up to Michael during games and says, hey, when you're in this situation, how do you do this? He paid homage, and it was only right that this past weekend that Michael Jordan stood up there, and in order to go into the Hall of Fame, someone has to stand up there who's already in the Hall of Fame to induct you. Mm. Michael Jordan was up there, and I think this is Tom MacDonald, Kobe Bryant, paying homage to his idol, Michael Jordan, Eminem.
Yeah, and he even says that none of the other white rappers, like I said, there's more coming up now, never gaining their approval, and they just get hate because everybody's comparing to, like you said, the Michael Jordans,
Right.
And and there's still that going on today, who's the GOAT.
Right.
And there's your Michael Jordan people, and then, of course, there's the name that we will not mention on the Lakers now.
We're not mentioning the Queen.
But I'm here now. Go ahead and hate it, don't hurt. Call me culture vulture garbage, those are ignorant words. I kill a vulture, cook the poultry in a pan till it's burnt. See, Marshall, I'm just like you. I'm flipping the bird.
So I like how he takes these lyrics here. All these bird, the flipping the bird. And he talks about culture vulture, another bird. And they killed the vulture, and then he cooks it, the poultry, in a pan. Mm-hmm. That's pretty. This is clever. This is Tom being Tom with real clever lyrics.
Flipping the bird.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Larry Bird.
Ooh.
No, I'm reaching.
Yes, you are reaching. Do you think there's a reason he keeps using Marshall as his name? You don't think that's a diss?
I think it's respect.
Okay. All right. What do you think?
Dear Slim, I just want to give you your flowers. I spent hours memorizing all of your songs in 2000. You were the reason I screamed at all of my teachers. A teen, I needed your CD on repeat and Shady's face on my t-shirt.
Okay, so this is where I mentioned this to Cedric before. This is just like Stan. He's talking about how he wears his shirts. He's buying him flowers. He memorized all his words. He puts his CD on, keeps repeating it. Mm-hmm. This to me is a direct back to Stan, right? Mm-hmm. It's like he's this super fan, but we know that Stan was psycho.
Right. He said, I'm Stan in every way except I am not psycho. And like he said in that first verse right there, I want to give you your flowers now. We talk about this a lot when you go to memorial services or funerals. Give me my flowers now. So that's what MacDonald is saying. I want to give you your props, give you your flowers, give them to you now while you're still alive. And like people, you're my man. If it wasn't you, there wouldn't have been me.
Yeah, I don't. Just with Tom's sense of humor, just part of me thinks all the visuals and everything that he's paying respect, but it's also like he's clowning him. I don't know.
Well, let's just meet in the middle and say Brian is wrong.
I'm sure I will hear from all of you that I am wrong.
Go easy. I respond to all the comments.
But I'm here now. They call me controversial just like you. We're both white, both rap, both of our eyes blue. Screw any guy who tries to say you changed and don't like you. Cause in my mind it's still 99 and I'm you.
Okay, what is that? In my mind it's still 99. So he's going back to that.
Yeah, when he was a kid.
Yeah.
He said he would go to the store and because he bleached his hair for this video.
But also he wrote Stan in 99 and came out in 2000.
Right. But I guess you saw back in 99 when he used to listen to Eminem a lot. And like he would sit in the mirror and bleach his hair and just try and be Eminem-esque.
Okay. All right.
Trust me.
I do.
Okay.
This is your lane.
Marshall, remember back when you became Eminem. You changed the world with a pen. Well, now I'm just like you. I don't give a what, saying what I want with my fingers up. Everybody triggered and they think I suck. But I don't give a what. Whether you love me or hate me or think I'm crazy, dropped $100,000 to get a beat from Shady. I really hope when I bought it he wasn't angry, but I really had to tell him that he changed me.
So this is where he talks about he dropped $100,000 for this beat that you're hearing. So, because you know all the copyright stuff we go through, you can't just use other people's music.
Yeah.
So there's this thing that we're going to talk about at the end where now you can auction off. These artists can auction off special. Because anybody could copy it, so it's a special way to have a tag on it that makes it yours. You legally bought it. So that's where he's saying, I dropped $100,000 to get this beat from Shady. So he's using this song to, ode to the Stan video, and then there was Stan's Revenge, which was the beat that Eminem did, and that's the beat you're hearing on this song.
Yep.
So that's what this is all talking about right here. And some people are mad that Eminem would allow Tom MacDonald to use a beat in a song, but he's $100,000 in his pocket, saying he can use whatever he wants.
To me, and I used this analogy a few minutes ago, it'd be no different than if Kobe bought a pair of Michael Jordan shoes and wore them in a game.
He likes his basketball reference.
I'm just drawing the analogy, right, McJunkin?
The truth of the matter is, without you, Marshall Mathers, I would've committed suicide before I was a rapper. You showed me that I could do it. I didn't need to be blacker. I know it's stupid, but I just had to do my best to say thank you.
So this is where, I can see what you're saying, where, and if that's true, that he was suicidal before, and we knew he had problems with drugs and alcohol. So he is kind of reaching out, kind of a fig leaf to Eminem, saying, thank you.
Yeah.
For changing my life, because he knows how it feels when people come up to him and say, you changed my life. People that maybe had problems with. So I mean, that's great. So I'm hoping to hear a response from Eminem.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
because his
take it one
fans
step
are
further.
horrible.
Yeah. Take it one step further. It'd be nice if they collabed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they kind of are on this. That's Eminem's beat.
Right. Right.
Marshall, remember back when you became Eminem. You changed the world with a pen. Well, now I'm just like you. I don't give a what, saying what I want with my fingers up. Everybody triggered and they think I suck, but I don't give a what. Nah, 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 nah. I don't give a what. Nah, 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 nah. Marshall, remember back when you became Eminem. You changed the world with a pen. Well, now I'm just like you. I don't give a what, saying what I want with my fingers up. Everybody triggered and they think I suck, but I don't give a what. Nah, 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 nah. I don't give a what. Nah, 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 nah.
So there's the little ode.
I like that.
So,
got the overalls on. Got the Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees mask, hockey mask going on.
Yep.
I like that.
So.
And they're both white.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they are. You didn't notice.
You notice those things, I know. And then video.
The superstar Nova Rockefeller. That was good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're gonna tell me, all you hogs out there are gonna tell me how wrong I am, but
it's your opinion.
It's my interpretation.
Right, and that's the beauty of art.
And most of it, and when it comes to art too. So I talked to Cedric about this. Modern art, so there's these famous paintings. There's an artist, Jackson Pollock, who basically it looks like he dripped paint on a canvas or just and sells for probably millions of dollars. So this beat that that Tom MacDonald spent $100,000 on, if you just listen to the beat and you can go and find Stan's Revenge, is it worth $100,000? I mean, it's something that it's not. I could do it right here on this keyboard probably in 2 seconds. It's nothing special, but because it's like Jackson Pollock, if he signs that piece of art, whatever it is, it's going to be worth money. Since Eminem sold this as an NFT, it's worth apparently $100,000. So
again, my basketball example: a pair of Nikes on my feet, a couple $100. A pair of Nikes on Michael Jordan's feet, a couple thousand.
You think you'd get a couple hundred Nikes on your feet?
No. You can't get a couple $100 if you buy your shoes at Payless.
In fact, you couldn't pay me to wear shoes after you. But we're going to go into just real quick what an NFT is. So it's a non-fungible token. So it's part of the whole cryptocurrency thing. You have to buy it with cryptocurrency. And I'll put it right here. So an NFT is a non-fungible token that represents ownership of a digital asset such as a song, photo, video clip, or digital artwork. So the way that I use this as an analogy, I use that Jackson Pollock. A painting, if you took a picture of a Jackson Pollock and tried to sell it to somebody, it would be worth nothing. But since it's numbered and signed, it's worth $100,000, $1 million, whatever it is. Even if it's just, there's a famous artist who basically, it was a black square on a white canvas. Because that artist was somebody who was sought after, something that a 5-year-old could draw is worth $1 million.
Right.
That's what digital art can do now. You can put a special tag like on your MP3 that makes it a 1-off or a 10-off or whatever, however big the series is, to make it worth money. And that is what an NFT is. And
like it's just like today's cryptocurrency with the Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all that stuff.
Yeah, and what's funny about this is it's getting into that whole cryptocurrency because you have to use cryptocurrency to buy these NFTs. Vinyl in the past, you could have a signed vinyl, but it's tangible, so you could sell that and you'd have that
vinyl?
signed. Yeah, I know. And so this is just a way now for people to have collectors stuff in the digital age.
Yeah.
So that's what an NFT is. Just if you're wondering, because that's how Tom MacDonald got this beat.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Sorry,
I liked it.
Didn't mean to beat that.
I liked it. I know there's a lot of haters out there. There's people who are going to hate no matter what you do. There's a lot of haters out there on Tom who says you are never going to be Eminem. I don't think he really cares. I think he's doing pretty good staying in his own lane. And again, go back to the basketball analogy. Some people say that Kobe never reached Michael Jordan, but he came pretty damn close. I think in this case, Tom MacDonald may never be the next Eminem, but he's doing great in his own right. I think he should be applauded for that.
Yeah, at the time that I read the article on this song, and this song just came out on Friday, there already was a 1.7 million downloads of it.
That's awesome.
So that's not bad.
Can't hate on him for that.
Yeah, no comments today. But I do want to encourage you, John Majunkin, anybody who likes to comment, do a video comment. We'd love to put you right up here.
We're waiting for the first one.
Yeah, we need the first, and John, because you comment, I think, on every video.
And Candace comments a lot.
Yeah, no, there's a lot now that
people.
do. In fact, the one you just sent me a screenshot, he's been commenting a lot.
Yes.
So be the first video comment, even if it's just to tell me how wrong I was.
Do we send that person a hat or a mug if they do it?
Yes, you can.
It'll come out of my pocket. We'll send you a hat or a Cedric and Brian mug if you are the first video
You have
comment.
to be the first one. And don't worry, it won't be the one that's on his head. We'll get you a clean one.
We'll get a new one. I like that. Let us know what you thought about this song. Tom MacDonald, like Brian said earlier, he kind of has a tendency to lean toward the right. This went away from his normal political rant and view of the world. And this was another one of those popping collar or flexing type videos that rappers do in conjunction with saying thank you to...
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, like you said, it's a thank you.
Yeah, saying thank you to Eminem. So I thought that was awesome. Well, thank you guys for watching. Just a reminder, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and share our videos with everyone you know. And a little added to that, if any of you have a special connection with Tom, we would love to interview him, whether it be a Zoom meeting or travel to his place in LA. Hook that up for us, and we will put that on our video as we introduce Tom and possibly Nova.
Yeah, because he's up the street.
Yeah, right up
LA.
the street. So anyway, until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. We'll see you later.